Ask you a question. Have you ever lent something to a friend or a family member and what condition you lent them, whatever that item was, they didn't return it to you in the same condition? Maybe you lent them a book. And when you lent them the book, it was a book that you may have never ever read before. So the book was brand new. And then when you got it back, all the pages were marked up, the pages were folded, and the book looked like it had been through the washing machine. Maybe you lent somebody your car. You had just gotten your car washed, you just gassed it up, car was ready to go, and someone needed to borrow your car, and you lent it to them. And then now, when you get your car back, there's crumbs all over your car. The gas is completely out, and you're like, "Oh my God, what did you do to my car?" Has that ever happened to you? Well, to me, one of the most annoying things is when you give somebody something in a particular situation, you give someone something that's in a particular condition, and you get it back and it's not the same thing. As being a landlord, I own quite a few homes in Atlanta, and I go through this all the time. I rent out houses to people, and when I give it to them, the house is in really, really great condition, just painted, floors just done, new appliances are very good, clean, used appliances, and then they give it back to me. The house is like roach infested, and there's markings all over the wall, and it's a very, very, very frustrating thing. So here's the thing: anytime that someone gives us something or we have access to something, we need to make sure that we give that thing back in the same condition. Now, this doesn't just apply to material things. This applies to everyone that comes into our lives. Everyone that comes into our lives, we need to make sure that if they happen to leave our lives, they leave a better person. So many of us get into relationships with people, whether it be a man female relationship or even a friendship relationship. And when the people leave, if for whatever reason they have to leave out of our lives, they don't leave in a better condition that they came in on. And that's not a good thing. That means that we're not imparting value on them. Now, people may leave out of your life for all different types of reasons. Who knows what it is? And maybe the circumstance that they leave in isn't necessarily a great circumstance. Maybe you and them had a falling out or whatever. But everyone that comes into your life, they should leave be, being a better person. And you want them to, after the smoke settles and the dust clears, and both people aren't as mad as they probably initially are. You want someone to be like, you know what, the time that I spent with that person was well invested. I left that relationship, or I left that situation a much better person. And I think that you have an obligation to make sure that everyone that comes into your life, you help them to become a much better person. Now, not necessarily because of the fact that you just did them so wrong and they gained wisdom from that, but you know what, we should make it our duty to make sure that everyone that comes into our lives, we leave them a little better off. We impart some wisdom into them, or we do something, we help them just to become a better person. And I guarantee you this: if everyone took this approach and decided to do that, the world would be so much of a better place. So I want you to not only make sure that you return people's stuff to them in the right condition. If you borrow somebody's car, you clean it out and you make sure you put gas into it, but also anyone that comes into your life, okay? You make sure that they leave out of your life a better person. Now, this doesn't even have to necessarily be people that you're in relationship with. It can just be people that you come across in the course of your day. Maybe if you work at a store or something, people that are coming in, because you know what? You never know the impact that you can have on people. So let's say you're a cashier at a restaurant or a store or something like that. Why don't you give that person that's coming in a smile? Because like I said, you never know how you can positively impact someone's day. So make sure that everyone that comes in contact with you, when they leave out of your life, whether it's temporarily or it's permanent, they leave so much of a better person. All right? Make sure that everything that you come in contact with, you don't tear it apart, but you build it up and you make it better. All right? Thank you much, and until next week.